Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, if you were paying attention to the mainstream media, we were given headlines about three men arrested, supposedly trying to join ISIS, who had plans to assassinate President Obama as well as blow up Coney Island. And I'll note that the gematria of Coney Island is 49, a number we're seeing quoted a lot. And of course, this information comes from the FBI, established March 22nd, 322. So yesterday, this story was brand new. Nobody heard about it before yesterday out here in the general public. The numerology of this day is 42, February 25th, 2015, second month, 25th day, 15th year. A lot of people would write it that way. 2 plus 25 plus 15 equals 42. So the numerology yesterday was 42. And with regards to the mainstream media stories hinting at Obama assassinations, the number 42 is coming up a lot. It first began back in 2009, less than a month after he became president. On the 42nd day of the year, February 11th, Obama reopened Ford's Theater, where Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Lincoln was assassinated on a date with a numerology of 84, twice 42. Obama's birthday is 8-4, August 4th. Obama in Jewish gematria equals 84. This was originally a Baptist church built in 33 where Lincoln was assassinated. This theater was not reopened after the Lincoln assassination until the year MLK was assassinated, 1968. MLK was assassinated on April 4th, 4/4/1968. Obama is the 44th president. The word kill equals 44. So Obama reopened this theater, having ties to Lincoln and MLK deaths, on the 42nd day of the year, February 11th. So that's the 42 at the beginning. More recently, and there's been stories since, but I just want to hit on some key ones recently. There was the story of the White House fence jumping on September 19th, 2014. So that date would be 9/19/14. 9 plus 19 is 28, plus 14 more is 42. So again, a date with a numerology of 42. We got a story of a 42-year-old White House fence jumper, and his name was Omar Gonzalez. Omar Gonzalez was simple English gematria. The name Omar's 47, like the word president, like the word Caesar. Gonzalez is 106. Put it together, it sums to 153. Remember, this is a very important number in sacred geometry and in the Bible. If you haven't seen my post on the Vesica Piscis and the English alphabet being based on sacred geometry and gematria, please check that out. We cover this number, its importance, where it shows up in the Bible. His initials, the abbreviations, are also interesting. OG, like original gangster. O can become 6, G 7, or you could just add up O and G, 15 plus 7, and get master number 22. We'll see how this trend continued. So exactly 33 days after this story, exactly 33 days later, from September 19th to October 22nd, we got a story of another White House fence jumper. So this came 33 days later, another important coded number. The jumper's name this time was Dominic Edsenia. And with the S exception, this name sums to 74. 74, another important number. Number of the martyr. Think about Jesus equals 74. Cross equals 74. Julius Caesar died in 44 BC on the 74th day of the year, March 15th. Probably not coincidence. So another coded name. Remember the last name Omar had the 47 coding. This name has the 74 coding, the flip of that. came 33 days apart, these White House fence jumpings. On November 22nd, 11/22, the day JFK was assassinated, the 8th president to die in office. To date, 8 presidents have died in office. The last one to do so was JFK. If Obama is assassinated, he will be the 9th president to die in office. It should be noted that the first president to die in office was William Henry Harrison, the 9th president. He died on 4/4, April 4th. And right now we have the 44th president. So anyway, on this day, on the anniversary date of the JFK assassination, 51 years later, the number of conspiracy, we're told this story of a 41-year-old man with a gun outside the White House. It should be noted that the acronym USA equals 41, so does the word king. Anyhow, his name, R.J. Kapheim, sums to 47. So we've seen this 47, 74, 47 for names. Omar, Dominic, and Senya. Continuing to code the same numbers with these would-be assassins for the president, all with very curious names. And again, this happened on November 22nd. 11 plus 22 is 33. JFK was assassinated on 11/22/63. That's a date with a numerology of 96, like the word Freemason, who are very much into these numbers. Since those stories, we were given the story of Alan Nunnally, the congressman who died supposedly of cancer. But check this out. In the story about his death, it said that he was given room number 84, a known unlucky room. Again, Obama equals 84 in Jewish gematria. He has a 8/4 birthday. United States of America with Pythagorean gematria sums to 84. Lincoln died on a date with 84 numerology. Of course, Obama and Lincoln are both from Illinois, or at least have political roots there. And dying of cancer, the word cancer has that gematria of 44, like the word kill. So does the word brain, and it said that Alan Nunnally died from brain cancer. 2 44 words. Obama's the 44th president. Nunnally was also another one of these people with 33 life numbers. His life number worked out so that the alternate method, it was also 77. Tragic stuff, Truth Seeker. Tragic stuff. All connected. Also making matters more interesting, this year, 2015, MLK Day fell on January 19th, 119, reminding us of 9/11, a date of tragedy. The name Martin Luther King Jr., Pythagorean gematria, sums to 116, like 911 upside down. His name was also a countdown. MLKJ is a lot like 4, 3, 2, 1. Of course, he was assassinated April 4th. Obama's the 44th president, ran on the word hope, a word with 44 gematria. Again, here's that story from yesterday. 3 men planning to kill Obama for ISIS and blow up Coney Island. Should be noted that also in this past year, on August 4th, that date was the 9th of Av. So this past year, Obama's birthday fell on the 9th of Av, August 4th, 2014. On this day, James Brady was found murdered. About a week later, they told us it was a homicide, or 5 days later. What's curious about this is James Brady, 33 years before his death, saved Ronald Reagan, who was the 33rd governor of California before becoming president. The shooting was at 2:27 in the afternoon, a very curious time. Tomorrow's date will be February 27th. Interestingly enough, tomorrow's date numerology will be 44, a number we're talking a lot about, on February 27th. I'd expect a major death tomorrow. Probably be big news of a death tomorrow. Watch for that story. But anyway, at 2:27 in the afternoon, 33 years earlier, James Brady and Ronald Reagan were supposedly shot by Hinckley, John Hinckley. Hinckley is a name with 84 gematria. 84. This number that we're talking about of much significance, half of 42. In 84, James Brady would get a gun bill named in his honor because of this shooting. But in August 4th of 2014, he would be murdered. These 84s just coming on him. And think about it, on Obama's birthday on the 9th of Av. If you're not familiar with what the 9th of Av is, it's the Jewish day of tragedy. Their sacred temples were destroyed on this date. Other tragedies in more recent history, 100 years earlier, World War I began on August 4th, 1914. Deportation to the Warsaw Ghetto in World War II. Iraq and Kuwait have their meltdown. And more recently, deadly bombing of a building in Buenos Aires. And if you can remember, the lawyer who'd been working on this was found murdered this year. And look, back in that case, 86 people dead. Another curious number that comes up a lot. The word triangle equals 86. The word pyramid equals 86. The word republic equals 86. All this stuff is connected, Truth Seeker. And the fact that this happened on the 9th of Av last year, it could be foreshadowing for the coming 9th of Av this year, which will fall on July 25th. So R.I.P. James Brady, man who saved Ronald Reagan, supposedly. He died on Obama's birthday last year. 2 years earlier, on August 4th, 2012, the U.S. flag fell from the rafters at the Summer Olympics in London while Serena Williams was getting the gold medal. And the flag fell right as the lyrics were sung, "But our flag was still there." So much foreshadowing, Truth Seeker. Foreshadowing the end of this nation. How far out is it? That remains to be seen, but with each day, it's one day closer. So what I wanted to show here is the 9th of Av this year is July 25th, 2015. Last year it was August 4th, 2014. It's one of those holidays with a floating date. From that date until the end of Obama's presidency, which is January 20th, 2017, that's a span of 1 year, 5 months, and 26 days, or 17 months, 26 days. I want to point out that the media, and I haven't seen them do this since, you're listening to someone who's been watching the media with a very careful eye daily since 2013, trying to pay attention to what they're hinting at and what's being plotted. Well, on May 1st, 2014, they ran this article that Obama had 33 months left and he'd probably be a lame duck for all 33 of these months. 33 months they pay focus to. So, what's significant about that? Well, it's just a tribute to numerology. And here I noticed that on July 25th, 2015 until the end is more than 17 months. But the thing about the number 17 is it's connected to the number 44. Both 17 and 44 is what kill sums to. Kill sums to 17 Pythagorean. It sums to 44 with simple English gematria. So, there's some possible dates coming up for Obama that are very concerning, starting with March 15th of this year. March 15th, 2015 is a date with 33 numerology. It's the 74th day of the year. It's the day Caesar died on, Julius Caesar, in 44 BC. Another curious date not long after March 15th is March 20th. This is a high holy day for the Satanists. This is the date the Iraq War started on, 555 days after September 11th. Operation Shock and Awe would begin 2 days later on March 22nd. So March 20th, 2015. Curious day, an eclipse. Then on April 4th, 4-4, it's one of the 4 blood moons in this series that's only happened a few times in the last 500 years. So April 4th, anniversary of the MLK assassination. He will have died 47 years earlier to the day. Remember, the word president equals 47. September 13th is Rosh Hashanah. A little bit further down, 11 days later, September 24th, the Pope is going to speak in Congress. September 28th is the last of the 4 blood moons, ending this series. This date has a numerology of 52. 9 plus 28 plus 15, 52. That number became the number of this year's Super Bowl. So remember this date too, Truth Seeker. They all have significance. Everything that's done in this world by our elite leaders, if you want to call them that, is done by the numbers, it's done by numerology, it's done by astrology. This is how they map out their deeds. So pay attention to these dates. I want to point out that Netanyahu was supposed to speak in the United States on February 11th in Congress, the 42nd day of the year, in something unprecedented. John Boehner, the leader of the Republicans, invited Netanyahu. There was a lot of controversy, so they rescheduled the date. They moved it from February 11th, the 42nd day of the year, to March 3rd, 3-3. Again, his speech, I think, is a sign of what's coming for Obama. It all factors in. Essentially, everything going on in this world ties to Israel right now. Kind of the focal point. So let's close by just watching a little bit of mainstream media coverage. Well, we'll do that in a second. I also just want to point out just one more recent death. We had the death of Ernie Banks, famous baseball player for the Chicago Cubs, where Obama hails out of Chicago. He died on a curious date, and all the stats on him are very curious. The name Ernie Banks sums to 53, a number of much importance right now. Obama is currently 53 years old. Ernie Banks debuted in the MLB in the year 53. His nicknames tie into the state of Illinois, Obama, and all the other deaths and tragedies we see happening in this world right now. And notice he died just shy of turning 84. He would have turned 84 on January 31st. That's the day Bobby and Whitney's daughter was found not breathing in a bathtub. So, R.I.P. One more connection, and let's finish by watching this mainstream news coverage of the 3 men supposedly with big plans for Obama and Coney Island.
I have a lot of questions about exactly what they're accused of doing based on the complaint. We know that for a long time
What are your questions?
My questions really focus on the confidential informant and the use of the confidential informant. We have a complaint that really just has small snippets of conversations. For example, there's a paragraph in the complaint which talks about my client allegedly speculating about how to get travel documents to be able to leave the country.
Okay, the complaint states that your client told a confidential informant that he wanted to travel to Syria to wage jihad, but that his mom feared he would do so and took his passport so he couldn't travel. It also says that your client watched videos of ISIL training videos, and then it goes on to say that your client expressed interest in joining the United States military so that he could pass information about the military to ISIL to help their attacks. Additionally, he said he could always open fire on American soldiers and kill as many of them as possible. That's what the complaint says.
And this is all information that is delivered to the FBI from a confidential informant that the government says in their own complaint they can't rely on the credibility of. And we only have, again, these small...
You know, Truth Seeker, this is also what I'm sick of. I'm just sick of watching our mainstream media for a decade and story after story like this. I don't know how nobody wakes up. If you listen to the words that are told for almost all mainstream news stories, you see that they're talking about nothing. What's he talking about right now? He's saying he had a client that had all this speculation and big plans. He wanted to join ISIS, help him out. And then you look and you see that the client he's talking about is a 19-year-old kid. And this is the major media story for the day, that this 19-year-old kid who lives with his mom, who wants to join ISIS, who wants to do all this bad stuff, this is the story that your mainstream media needs to bring you, and the FBI has the details. Let's not forget the FBI was established March 22nd, 322, Yale, Skull and Bones, and a whole lot more. You know, but these news stories, year after year, young men found by the FBI over the internet, willing to, it's always like the FBI setting it up. The FBI was willing to provide explosives to these guys so they could blow up the Sears Tower or whatever. We just keep getting these stories. It's always that the FBI found some young people who were willing to do this, but at the same time had no capability of doing anything. Yet they continue to give us these stories. And then, when you think about it, those are the only stories you're really hearing about terrorism. Well, besides the occasional Boston Marathon bombing, which is just as hoaxy as the rest of this stuff. But then you think about it. You're listening to your government approve billions of dollars and make case for more war and more acts of aggression and more spy planes and more drone planes and more drone strikes. And it's over stuff like this. 19-year-olds living with their mom who want to join ISIS. There is no ISIS. I want to join ISIS. How do I join ISIS? I've been searching the web for how to join ISIS. I can't find it anywhere. So what I want to know is how 13-year-old girls, kids from the hood, how they figure out how to join ISIS. And I mean, let's be honest. If there was an ISIS, who they want? Some 19-year-old punks from the hood? Or they want some guy like me. You know what I mean? The point is there's no ISIS. There's no way to join ISIS. This is all a big joke. A big joke. A big hoax. That's what we live in.
Of what my client allegedly said, we don't know the background. We don't know the context. We don't know how this confidential informant manipulated my client. And, we know, for example, in the Newberg case, that an FBI informant actively manipulated people who really weren't interested in radicalization.
In a recorded conversation on January 11th, your client told the confidential informant that he had a plan if he didn't get the proper travel documents to go to Syria. He said this, quote, "I will just go and buy a machine gun, an AK-47, go out and shoot all police." He then went on to say, "It is legal in America to carry a gun. We will go..."
All right, True Seeker, look at how they even sync up all their propaganda. You can tell in this piece they want to, they're targeting guns. It is legal in America to carry a gun. Yeah, the reason why is so that we can keep the tyrants at bay. The tyrants who run our media, who run our government. Everything that was intended not to happen has happened, and it gets worse every day. All right.
Go and purchase one handgun. Then go and shoot one police officer. Boom. Then we will take him guns, bullets, and bulletproof vests. Then we will do the same with a couple of others. Then we will go to the FBI headquarters, kill the FBI.
So honestly, True Seeker, I think what our media is taunting us with and saying this is something somebody in ISIS wants to do, you know who should want to do all this stuff? An alert citizenry. A citizenry who's fed up, who's ready for revolution, which should be us, but somehow we're not. We're content with our Cheetos and our crappy TV programming and our soda soft drinks and our alcohol and our automobiles and our warm showers. It's enough. It's enough, apparently, to keep us pacified. But really, this is what we should be out doing. Maybe a lot of you disagree, but I'm sorry, you need to wake up. Nothing's ever been achieved in this world with nonviolence. The forces that oppress us every day are the police. They are the FBI. They're all the police and spy agencies for this government. As a people, we should wake up. We should form local militias. We should go overthrow our police departments. We should go destroy the FBI. We should march into Washington and destroy Congress. We should burn it all to the ground. Stuff is a joke. This is real tyranny. These are the real terrorists. Police officers are thugs. Anybody who thinks a police officer is decent is an idiot. Police are disgusting people. They're out for authority. They uphold bullshit laws. They have shitty values. They're a bunch of punks themselves. And they want to fake their deaths on the media and be complicit in all this propaganda. Well, they can all die like the punks they are. You know what I mean, Truth Seeker? I'm fed up. I'm ready for the revolution. If it started tomorrow, I'd be out there. I don't want to keep sitting on my ass watching this stuff go by. It makes me sick. I realize I live in a pacified nation where almost no one else is near this level, but this is where people need to go. We need to overthrow this tyranny now and not a day later. Let's continue with this crap.
People. That's on a recording.
And again, I don't know if he was led into that discussion or into comments like that, if he in fact made those comments by this FBI informant. We haven't been provided the transcripts. We haven't been provided the recordings, so we don't really know what this FBI informant did. This was a paid FBI informant.
Your client was arrested at JFK today trying to travel to Turkey. Have you had a chance to speak to him?
I have had a chance to speak to him.
And what does he say?
I can't comment on that at this point.
And does he deny these allegations?
And I just want to point out, if you haven't figured it out, this guy on here pretending to be the liar, he is a liar, pretending to be the lawyer of these three men who probably don't even exist. Look at him. He's a Jew, a Zionist Jew, another scumbag. We need to start calling these people out for what they are. I'm tired of all the Jew sympathy in this country. There pretty much are no real Jews left. This is the synagogue of Satan. They operate by lying, by being deceitful, by having no morals. They are scum, and you've been taught to sympathize for this scum with lies. There was no Jewish genocide in World War II. There was a genocide in this country. There was a genocide in Russia. There was a genocide in Armenia, and all those genocides were led by Zionists. The Jews are the real killers. They flipped the script. Wake up.
He has not had to enter a plea yet. He's not been indicted yet. All that's happened is he's been presented on a complaint, and there's no need for him to enter any type of plea or make any type of statement to that effect at this point.
He's apparently, according to the complaint, he said he was prepared to die.
That's what the complaint says. Again,
You don't know. You have an issue with a confidential informant.
Exactly.
You would like it to be more transparent.
Well, I'd like to see. I need to look at the evidence as any lawyer at this early stage of a case would need to do.
Thank you for coming on. Please come back.
No problem.
Thank you.
Good to
Adam
see you.
Perlmuther.
Bye-bye.
And we'll just close by reminding that CNN is a completely 33 network. Robert Turner III, 33, has a 33 life number, founded CNN on the 33rd parallel. Almost all their anchors have 33 name numerology and life numbers, including Don Lemon. This is all propaganda. When you turn on the TV, you're opening yourself up to propaganda, mind control, mind programming. The way these Zionists have waged their successful madness against us. TV's been major. So, to close, there is no ISIS. ISIS is a joke. Obama is going to be assassinated. When he's assassinated, it will be part of the hoax. It might very well be blamed on ISIS. It could also be blamed on domestic right-wingers, another narrative they've been building. And with ISIS, they keep trying to make it more and more domestic and local as well. So there's that connection. And also, please be aware of all these coming dates. And with your eyes open, including tomorrow, February 27th, a date with a numerology of 44. Watch out for March 15th. Watch out for March 20th and 22nd, April 4th, and then some days later in September. All right, Truth Seeker. Until next time.